Hi there, YouTube. Long time no see. Today's Kingdom song is a special request from a viewer. It is one of the newer songs, and it apparently first appeared in one of the song books, though not the 2009 songbook, apparently, as number 137. In the 2017 songbook, it's number 73. Now, you'll probably have noticed that in this video series, I am only using the 1966, 1984, 2009, and 2017 songbooks because this is not a full-time job, after all. So I picked 4 versions, and that's what I use. Good grief. It's almost more than one human being can keep up with. Anyway, this song is called Grant Us Boldness. And in case you were ever tempted to think that Jehovah's Witness songwriting had gotten better over the years or something, you probably should think again. While it has considerably less superfluous apostrophes than some of their earlier attempts, which is pretty great, actually, it's still kind of a hot mess express. The melody, like many Jehovah's Witness melodies, sounds strangely derivative, like you've heard it somewhere. Like, I could swear that I've heard it somewhere before, as if it's very similar to some other famous tune that I can't quite put my finger on. And like other Jehovah's Witness melodies, it also gets stuck in your head. Now, since this song came out well after I left the organization, I will not be singing it. But since they've started allowing choirs, apparently, I don't have to. Because there's not only a choir version, but also another of their hideous animated versions for kids. And I'll let you see both. You'll probably regret it.
As we tell about the kingdom, as we witness for your name.
Wow, this is so militant. You almost expect to see platoons of little Jehovah's Witnesses marching around in uniforms or something.
There are many who oppose us and who try to bring us shame.
I ask you, whose fault is that? Think about why people oppose Jehovah's Witnesses. What are the reasons? Well, when I was a Jehovah's Witness, I was always taught that people who opposed the witnesses did so because they were wicked. The opposers were wicked, evil, apostates, demonized, controlled by Satan, just mean, hateful people. And then I grew up and life happened and I realized why those people were protesting outside Bethel and why people ordered us off their lawns in service. Jehovah's Witnesses, what you are experiencing is not people just opposing you for the hell of it, or because the devil told them to. You meet opposition for many reasons, which include, but are not limited to, your arrogance in coming to our houses and interrupting us on the street to tell us that only your cult has the truth, your refusal to accept life-saving medical treatment based on your misinterpretation of an ancient book, your bad behavior in how you treat people, disfellowshipping and shunning people for minor offenses, which means for many, everybody they know, friends, family, co-workers, everyone starts ostracizing them. People kill themselves over this. Families are destroyed over this. How is this not worthy of protest? And we haven't even, oh, hi, Harrison is visiting. Come sit with me, Harrison. We haven't even gotten to your heinous child abuse scandal. So while you'll destroy someone's life because they smoked a cigarette, grew a beard, or, did something else, you'll gladly look the other way when there's a child molester in your congregation. You flatly refuse to even acknowledge that it happens, even after a full-scale government investigation like the Australian Royal Commission and an endless stream of TV documentaries, films, books, and news articles about it. Denial much? So here's a concept for you. Maybe it isn't that opposers are trying to bring you shame. Maybe you're bringing that shame on yourself through your actions. You're trying to shoot the messenger here, witnesses. You can't get mad at us for calling you naked when it's you who chose to leave your pants at home. Simply put, if you don't want to suffer the consequences, aka feel shame for your actions, then maybe you shouldn't engage in shameful behavior.
Mommy?
Just saying. Yes, dear.
Can I be Captain Underpants?
You want to be Captain Underpants?
Yeah.
Not
But instead of fearing men, it's really you we must obey.
All right, guys. If the only important thing is obeying Jehovah, then why do witnesses care so much about what other people think of them? Why are they so concerned about their name? And they are, because every other song is about sanctifying, vindicating, praising the name of Jehovah, and they claim to be the only religion bearing that name. Even the Secret Elders Manual reflects this fact. Why is that, if it's not concern over what people think of them? Also, we've touched on the imperative obedience as well here in this lyric. It's really Jehovah we must obey. Huh? Then why are they obeying a fly-by-night publishing company in New York? Oh, they speak for Jehovah. Really? I think I'm going to need a little bit more evidence than they said so it must be true. Seriously, y'all.
So we beg you now for your spirit. Oh, Jehovah, hear what we pray. Grant us boldness as we witness. Help us overcome our fear.
This is very important. First of all, notice what they're asking for. Boldness. Now think about that for a minute. They're not asking for wisdom or knowledge or blessings or goodness or anything really helpful. No, they want boldness. But listen, you can be extremely bold and still be wrong as hell. You can be boldly stupid. You know what? You don't actually need boldness to witness if you're doing it right. Because the kind of boldness they're talking about here is reflected in their literature and videos. The example that comes to mind is the Caleb and Sophia video where the mom encourages Sophia to tell her classmate that same-sex marriage is wrong and her two mommies are not going to paradise or whatever. Another example is the insufferable twat in the convention video who goes to a fundraiser flea market for a gay marathon and refuses to accept a free bracelet telling them that she's a Bible reader and their lifestyle is immoral. You know, that's not boldness, guys. That's rude. That's a bad witness. It makes people think that you're a jerk, even if you do in fact have good intentions. So even if you sincerely feel that, say, homosexuality is wrong, you don't get to go judge other people and butt into their personal business. If you don't like homosexuality, then fine. Don't be gay. It's as simple as that. Now, let's contrast this with an actual good witness, right? An actual good witness would be helping people, oh, hi, Carson, helping people in disaster situations. I mean, like actual disaster victims, not just people like you, other Jehovah's Witnesses. An actual good witness might be taking the stupid bracelet at the marathon and just not wearing it. If your feelings are that strong about it, as a matter of fact, then why are you shopping at their flea market in the first place? Go somewhere else. An actual good witness would be admitting your own mistakes and doing everything you can to put things right. Actually, now that we're talking about it. Okay, so let's move on to their next point. Let's talk about overcoming fear. What are they actually afraid of? Being called rude? Seriously, what is there to be afraid of? Okay, I get that they went through some persecution before, but by and large, they aren't. They are not being persecuted, especially in the U.S. right now. They like to manufacture persecution. They like to talk about persecution and anticipate it, but it's not real. They are not being persecuted. They're suffering natural consequences of their actions. And there's no reason to fear that because you can do something about it. Stop being a jerk and we'll stop calling you a jerk. Or hey, maybe you're afraid, witnesses, because you actually know you're wrong and it's not nice to insert yourselves into people's personal business. And maybe you know good and well that shunning people is wrong and that's why it feels bad. Because you know what? You're overriding your natural affection for your friends and family and replacing it with blind obedience to a corporation. And you know that's wrong on a visceral level. That's why you feel so constantly fearful and wrong, because what you're doing is actually wrong and unnatural. Think on that for a while.
Give us confidence and courage, so that all the world may hear.
You know what? There is no excuse in this day and age for all the world not knowing about your message if it really is what you say it is. The internet allows you to reach out to literally anywhere, except for maybe those far-flung indigenous peoples who've managed to cling tenaciously to their culture by killing anyone who comes near their forest or whatever. And maybe you should just leave them alone. But the truth is that the prophecies that you have put out there, witnesses, have failed so many times that you're a punchline. So you can preach your stuff as confidently and boldly as you want to, but it doesn't change the fact that your religion is a joke to the rest of the world, and rightly so. Why? Well, why don't we just see what this important message is? Armageddon draws very near in a major key, meaning it sounds happy. Yay! Armageddon is going to be such a great day. Awesome! So what happens on Captain Underpants just ran through. Here he comes again. He's wearing underpants and a cape. So anyway, yay. Armageddon. Woohoo! Awesome. What happens on Armageddon Day? Oh. Billions of people killed, including children and infants and church ladies who've always looked after their neighbors, and, you know, the ones who cook casseroles for every baby shower and funeral and have never uttered so much as damn it under their breath. This is your great and happy news? Everybody's going to be killed off, your coworkers, your insurance guy, everybody you've ever seen in a movie, all your favorite sports teams, your kids' preschool classmates, me, your disfellowship child, your unbelieving mate, your parents maybe. How is this a great and wonderful thing?
Righteous boldness as we witness, this is our prayer.
Really? That's all you can think of to pray for? I mean, think about it. You supposedly believe in the almighty, omnipotent, omniscient, benevolent creator of the whole goddamn universe, and the best you can do is grant us boldness? You know, y'all are very selfish and you have no imagination. You know what I would pray for if I believed in such a thing? An end to hunger and poverty. An end to the two-witness rule, actually. The ability to travel through time, maybe? I mean, hey, you told me that with God all things are possible. Why not?
Even though we may be fearful, you remember we are dust.
Again, what are you afraid of? What? That somebody might be outraged when you tell them that your jerk of a God's going to kill him, and how happy you're going to be that he's going to kill everyone but you? What reaction do you expect? And newsflash, guys, we actually aren't dust. I know the Bible says that, and some scientists say that we might be made of stardust, which sounds nice, but Jehovah's Witnesses aren't notorious readers of scientific literature, so when they sing this, they're probably thinking about the dust that collects on their TV screen and their knickknack shelf and those bound volumes that they never open. Household dust is made up largely of human and animal hair, skin cells, and things like pollen and paper particles and the like. So dust is actually made of us and not the other way around.
Your assurance to support us is a promise we can trust.
Why? I mean, really, why? Where and when was this assurance expressed? And why do you trust it? If it came from the Watchtower Society, I hate to break it to you, but every single one of their promises and prophecies has failed. Every single one. So I wouldn't hold my breath if I were you, sisters.
Give attention to the threats of those who persecute and blame. May you help us all to continue as we boldly speak in your name.
Oh, jeez, this is ludicrous, guys. No one is threatening you. I mean, sure, you're getting sued right and left, but that's not quite a threat. I mean, that's a response to your actions, or lack thereof as the case may be, and blame, yes, you actually should take the blame for things you did. I mean, for example, if your mentally and emotionally fragile teenager was disfellowshipped for some reason and you kicked them out of the house and shunned them instead of helping them get appropriate professional help, and then they get killed or they commit suicide, and guess what? That is at least partially your fault, because you would have had a choice in that scenario to help them or not, and you didn't. You withdrew your love and support when they needed it most. So again, if you don't want to be blamed, maybe you should stop doing things that you don't want to be blamed for. I have a better idea. Maybe he could stop condoning such rude and unconscionable behavior and teach you to do better. Or maybe he's just like you and that's the problem. Or maybe he doesn't exist at all and you're just being used by the leadership of your cult to make money. Which of these scenarios is most likely? So, at this point, I'm going to show you part of the children's version of this song, and I'm going to repeat the last verse that you just heard because the animation is just, you got to see it.
And though we may be fearful, you remember we are dust. Your assurance to support us is a promise we can trust. Give attention to the prayers of those who persecute and blame. May you help us all to continue as we boldly speak in your name.
Oh my God. Okay, so this mean, horrible little worldly brat is picking on this angelic little non-flag saluting Jehovah's Witness kid. And then the witness and his family happen upon that kid's door out in service. And there's an angel with them. I mean, what the actual... Look, I've heard the urban legends too, but wow. I mean, I've never actually seen this stuff in an actual Jehovah's Witness publication before. It's just so goofy. And suddenly, because of the witness kid's wonderful presentation of a truly boring tract, the bully changes his personality and his tune completely. Sure, that's likely. Actually, guys, I have personally been in this exact situation before, and it doesn't happen like this, like not ever. What happens is you show up unintentionally at a classmate's door, which is excruciatingly embarrassing. You stumble through your presentation because you are forced to, even though your classmate is like asking you what the hell you're doing there. And then when you go to school the next day, the bullying is actually going to be worse than ever because now they have real ammo. You're in a cult and you came to their house uninvited to sell them God. Not cool.
Grant us boldness as we witness. Help us overcome our fear. Give us confidence and courage, so that all the world may hear. Armageddon draws ever near, but until that great day is here, grant us boldness as we witness. This is our prayer.
You know, this has to be some of the crappiest animation I've seen yet. I mean, why are these kids marching on the sun? And this is some real ham-handed brainwashing propaganda indeed. I mean, listen to these little kids sing so joyfully about Armageddon. Yay! Death and destruction! This is sick. So you can clearly see that the new songs in many ways are actually even worse than the old ones. And that's quite a feat. But not exactly something to be proud of.